Hi guys, it's Hot Mess Mama. It is Friday. Not only is it Friday, but it is a 3-day weekend Friday, people. 3-day weekend, 3-day weekend. Woo woo, woo woo. We are winners on the 3-day weekend. Yes, it's Friday, and I am coming to you live from Hot Mess Mama's kind of Camp David. This is her beach condo, and kids are not in it, which is the best part of this Friday. My kids are out at the pool with daddy, and hopefully they will stay there for a little bit while mommy has some mommy time, does some research, because tonight we're sipping and dipping. And you know what? Double dipping's okay tonight, ladies. Double dipping's okay. Do what you got to do. I don't care if you eat it with fingers. I don't care if you eat it with a spoon. I don't care if you eat it with a bag of chips. Join me tonight, because tonight, as you know, we are pairing, and like whatever you have, like don't make it complicated. Like if you want to make your own fresh guacamole, kudos to you, great, awesome. If you want to buy it from a pack at the store, holy guacamole, go for it. If you want to make your own pimento cheese, some of you know what pimento cheese is. Mostly Southerners know what pimento cheese is, because as a Northerner, I had no idea what it was. Moved here and fell in love with it immediately. And they swear that they have the best pimento cheese recipe, right? And pimento cheese, like, oh no, my grandmother has the best pimento cheese. Oh no, no. And then they like, oh no, I have to use this mayonnaise, or I have to use this kind of cheese, or these kind of pimentos. They're very serious about their pimento cheese, people. And I get it. And I have my own recipe, and I make it, and I love it. But it can be a little bit labor intensive. So I am also very, very fond of store-bought pimento cheese, people. You can do. I don't know if they sell it up north. I think they might, but it was something that I never looked for before when I lived up north. So it's just something now that I look for in my stores here down south, because it's such an easy grab and go, and everyone in the south loves it, and we eat it everywhere. We eat it at wedding showers, we eat it at baby showers, we eat it at barbecues, we eat it at happy hours, we eat it on sandwiches, we eat it in our eggs, we eat it on anything that sits still. So in my last post when I was announcing tonight what we were going to be tasting, I included links for recipes on how to make guacamole and links on recipes how to make pimento cheese. But again, tonight, store-bought is totally acceptable and encouraged, because we need to spend more time drinking and thinking, right? Okay, so tonight I'm gonna have some store-bought pimento cheese, but I am gonna make my own homemade guacamole because it is so easy to make. And there's lots of different variations and renditions, but like, and they can do the fresh herbs and the fresh onions and the chopped, tomatoes and all, and the cilantro, and okay. There is a very quick method to make guacamole. But first of all, you have to start with the basic ingredient, which is what is this called again? It is called an avocado. Do you guys know how to clean an avocado? Like, I'm amazed at how people don't know this easy trick about how to clean a tomato or avocado. So you get yourself a big old knife and you cut the avocado around the pit like that, right? Okay, so it's been scored all the way around the pit, and then you twist to take the avocado out, right? And so you've got half of the pit and half without the pit. Now what do? Now you get a spoon. Get a spoon. Doesn't have to be any kind of fancy spoon. Just get yourself a spoon, right? And you literally just scoop the avocado right out of the skin. Boop, into the bowl. That's it. And for whatever, I thought I did this at home when I was with my mom, and I'm watching my mom, and she has literally got a knife, a little like paring knife, and she's peeling the avocado like. I'm like, Mom, that's gonna take you 8 hours to peel that thing, and you're gonna lose half of it in the skin. Just do this. Look, all of the avocado pops right out of the skin. How do you not know this? Okay, and then you got this half with the pit, right? This is the half with the pit. You take your knife that you cut it with, and you literally just kind of smack it into the pit, turn the pit around, pop, it comes right out. Comes right out of the knife, right? That's it. Then you, again, scoop, and dump right into the bowl, right? It's not complicated, but for whatever reason, people tend to make it a little more complicated than it is. And just dump it into the bowl. Now, I'll also tell you that, you always have that challenge where your avocados or your guacamole goes brown. It's just an oxidation process. It's natural. It doesn't change the taste or the freshness or anything like that of the avocado. It's just it's strictly just like a pretty factor. It's just like, a visual factor. So it doesn't hurt anything, but if you want to keep your guacamole or your avocados from going brown, you can put some citrus in there, like lime juice or lemon juice or even a little bit of orange juice or whatever to keep it from going bad. But the trick is to save the pit. I don't know why. I don't know what the nature or the science is behind it. But once you make your guacamole, you put the pit back in the guacamole, like in the center of the guacamole, and it will not brown. Same thing if you're like storing it in the fridge. Like say you only, like you're making a an egg salad sandwich or something, and you only want half of the avocado. You don't want the whole thing. You leave the pit. Like, you use you use in your sandwich the side that doesn't have the pit, and you keep the other non-eaten half of the avocado with the pit in it, and then just throw it in a Ziploc bag and put it in your refrigerator, and it won't brown. So it's apparently all about the pit. Now, when you're making guacamole, you want to lightly mash it. I remember as a kid, like my mom would almost like blend it, and I was like, it's like soup. So you just take a fork. And you just mash it a little bit. And you kind of want it to be chunky, right? Like I kind of like mine a little bit chunky, but then you kind of run into sometimes every once in a while some avocados that are just bad. Like they're brown or they're just kind of skunky. And and I may have a few of those in this batch. But I'm gonna, and then like I said, the recipes that I had included, they tell you to chop up fresh tomatoes and fresh cilantro and fresh this and that and fresh, herbs and spices. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Mama ain't got no time for that. And now that's Mama ain't got no time for that. That's what I just said. Mama ain't got no time for that. So you know what a quick fix is? You know how you can make a quick guacamole? You put your guacamole in the bowl, mash it up a little bit. Like that took me all of 30 seconds, right? To like cut the avocado. This is one avocado. I'll have to cut more, but I'm just gonna kind of mix and go. And put in a little lime juice. I don't have fresh lime, so I'm just gonna put a little squirt of lime juice in there. A little shot of hot sauce, Tabasco, Sriracha, Contadino, whatever one of those that you want. And then you can either use a scoop of salsa verde or a scoop of just your regular old, red salsa, right? That's it. I know, and I know you guys think I'm crazy about mayonnaise. Some people actually put sour cream in theirs to be a little bit smoother or a little bit creamier. I've done sour cream, but I also do mayonnaise. So, and I don't do a lot. I just do a little bit. I know you guys all think I'm obsessed with mayonnaise, but I kind of am obsessed with mayonnaise. So I'm going to put in there a scoop of this red salsa, which has the tomatoes and it has the peppers and it has the cilantro and all the spices in it. So like, I'm not chopping and dicing all that crap. I'm literally opening up a jar and scooping in some salsa. Like I said, and I did a little scoop of salsa, a little squirt of lemon, lime. You can a little bit of Tabasco, and I'm gonna do just a smidge of mayonnaise. And I will probably put in some salt and pepper just because I like it. Now purists will tell you that they strictly do salt, pepper, avocado, and that's it. Like that, the purists will do that. That's all the ingredients that they put in there, and that's it. I kind of like to doctor mine up a little bit, and maybe that's that's an ugly American thing of mine. But anyway, so literally, you saw what I put in here, and you saw how long it took me to make. It takes no time whatsoever, and there you go, and it's done. Guacamole, done. And you eat it with chips. And I was looking at my cabinet here, saying like, oh gosh, I hope I have some chips, because my kids like the chips, right? And I realized all I had were the tiny little kid chips, like the tiny little rounds. But I found somewhere in like the mommy stash some of the good stuff. So while I'm going to continue, I need to cut some more of these avocados. So while I'm going to continue to cut those avocados and stir in the rest of the stuff, I think that we should taste some pimento cheese and Cabernet Sauvignon. So Cabernet Sauvignon with pimento cheese. I've got a proper glass. We're going to fill it up just right now. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm a big, I buy my, here in the state of North Carolina, we're an ABC state, which means you have to buy all of your liquor from a liquor store, but you can buy your beer and wine from grocery stores, Walmarts, wine shops, gas stations. You have to go to 2 different places if you want to get the 2 different types of alcohol. But my husband and I are kind of really addicted to Costco and the Costco wines. No, that sounds really bizarre. You're thinking Costco, like the Costco brand? Yeah, like the Kirkland brand, right? They actually have really seasoned sommeliers, professional wine tasters that go out and they go to these wineries that are very high-end wineries that we would pay big bucks for because of the label. And they have these wines specially made for them from the same grapes as these specialty wine labels at these hoity-toity Napa Valley, Sonoma County wineries, right? And they're really, really good, and they're cheap. They're anywhere from $10 to $15 for a bottle of wine that came out of the same winery that like they're charging $30 to $50 a bottle of wine for. So this is in Alexander Valley, Cabernet Sauvignon from Sonoma County, courtesy of Kirkland, aka Costco. Little well-known fact, go get it. They're great wines, really good wines, and they're really well priced. And then if it's a variety that you don't like, no harm, no foul, right? Okay, so Cabernet Sauvignon, and you don't chill. You don't, now we're talking, it's going to be hot out. So, this weekend as we're prepping for Memorial Day, that's hence the dips. But it's going to be hot out, but you do not chill red wines. I'm sure you probably all know that you don't chill red wines. The only red, unless it's like a sangria or something like that. But otherwise you don't chill the reds. The only ones you chill are like the whites and the pinks and the champagnes and the bubblies. So I've been waiting for this Cabernet Sauvignon all day, because today was my daughter's very last day of school for this year. Now, she goes to 2 schools. So yesterday was her last day for one school, and today is her last day for the second school. And it's just really strange for me to be like thinking as I'm walking into these buildings, because you guys know that like my husband was laid off, and we could very well not be living here come next fall when they go back to school. So although they are registered for classes for next year, it's all up in the air as to where we're going to be living and where they could potentially be going to school. So these schools that my kids have been going to for years, with teachers that I know and love and curriculum that I know and love, and it's so familiar to me, like my car is on autopilot getting to those classrooms and schools, I'm going to pick them up and realizing this could be the last time I pick you up from here ever, because we may never come back to the school if we move between now and then. It's kind of, yeah, that's good. It's kind of like, I did a lot, and I even go through kind of like graduations this week. Or are you going through them where like your pre-kindergarten kid is going to be, leaping up to kindergarten, or kindergarten is going to be leaping up to first, or maybe your junior high is going to be leaping up into, the higher grades or into high school. Like it's kind of that transition where you're kind of sad that they're leaving that stage of their life. This was kind of the same thing, but like not only are we leaving kind of that stage of our life, we're leaving this place where they were born and they were raised, and we don't know where we're going yet. So I don't mean to get all mushy and sappy on you, but that's kind of how I was dealing with today. And I was like, okay, this is great. We're celebrating. We're having this party, this end of year parties, and we're thanking teachers and giving teachers gifts. And you probably saw my other post about teachers' gifts. But it was really kind of bittersweet to me, because I was thinking, oh, these are friends that you've been with since you were, a couple months old, and a school that you've been with since then, and a nursery, and now who knows where you're going to be. And thank goodness that like the kids are not older, because then it would be so much harder for them to transition, because they'd be so set with their friends. I can't imagine moving like with a teenager. How do you military families do it like that? It's gotta be so hard, because you move so often, have to make so many new friends, and it's very transient. And so I'm not like upset about moving. I'm excited about moving, but it's just like, oh, it's like another chapter of my life, moving. Okay, enough of the sappy. So what do you guys have planned? Okay, that's the red wine, pimento cheese. They sell it here in the tubs. If you guys know what pimento cheese, take a look. I know, like I said, there's a recipe. I know it doesn't look like, you're like, what is that mush that you're eating? It's basically like 2 types of shredded cheddar cheese, like a mild and a sharp, and like mayonnaise and cream cheese and pimento cheese out of a can, like not pimento peppers, like those peppers that you get in olives out of a can. And you can buy like a whole jar of them, of just the peppers. So it's like those peppers, there's cheeses, there's mayonnaise, there's salt and pepper, there's cream cheese. I mean, like, and it sounds like, what the heck is that mess? But it is the most addictive thing on the planet. And okay, is it addictive or addicting? Because I always thought it was addictive. And so when I hear people say addicting, I want to smack them in the face, because I feel like that's wrong. Pimento cheese is going in. Okay. Yes. Cabernet does go really well with the pimento cheese. The pimento cheese has a kick of that pepper, but it's got that creamy of the cheese and the mayonnaise and whatever other dairy stuff that they put in this particular tub of pimento cheese. And it finishes real nice. Maybe it's like the oaky of the Cabernet paired with the pimento cheese. Now, people say, well, you don't just eat. I love pimento cheese enough that I will eat this stuff with a spoon. Kind of like peanut butter. But most of the Southerners eat them with crackers. Or you could eat them with like a vegetable crudité, like carrot sticks or radishes or cucumbers stuff. But like everywhere that I've gone and where I've been taught is you get the good old Wheat Thins crackers. Or the Ritz. I prefer the Wheat Thin. And you know what I also really like them with? Carrot chips. Not like, you can do carrot sticks, but like I feel like with the carrot chip, it's got more surface area to hold the pimento cheese. Okay. So what are you all doing this weekend for Memorial Day? We're at the beach, obviously. Our plan initially was to go to, we have season passes to Busch Gardens of Williamsburg because it's like a 2.5 hour drive from our house. So we typically go there for the holiday. But we booked it all, booked the hotels and are ready to go. Check the weather forecast, and it was like going to be raining and thunderstorms and lightning like the whole weekend. And while that can be uncomfortable, when you're at a amusement park like a Busch Gardens, they have to shut down the rides like when it gets like that, when it's rainy or when there's lightning, because it's a safety issue. They also have their water parks, and you can't be in the water during that either. So we're like, why are we going to drive 2.5 hours to go to these parks where we're probably not going to be able to ride anything? We're going to be miserable, and we're going to end up staying in a hotel room with 2 kids for 3.5 days. So the weather here and at the beach in North Carolina and Atlantic Beach is not going to be stellar or perfect. It's kind of beautiful right now, but it won't be the mess that it looks like it's going to be up at Busch Gardens. So change of plans. We canceled everything, and we're driving here. I'm shoveling pimento cheese in my mouth. You can make a dinner out of pimento cheese and lime. I'm giving you permission and acceptance. So let's get back to plans for this weekend. So what are your plans for the weekend? Like, we don't really have any. We're just going to hang out at the beach, and I think our condo complex is going to have a barbecue or something like that, which should be nice. But like, this is like when the summer season kicks off here. This is when it starts to get really busy, and all the tourists come in, and it's going to be busy. Streets are going to be packed from now until Labor Day. And so when we drove in, my heart almost kind of sank. It's like, oh, like people are coming in now. But it'll be fun because it'll be entertainment for my kids, and there'll be a lot of life and a lot of energy, and so it'll be good. But we don't really have any real plans. We're just gonna kind of hang out and probably grill, and we know a lot of people that live in our complex, and so we'll probably be doing a lot of happy hours and drinking and eating pimento cheese because that's what we do here in the South. And ham rolls. Like, what else are like your staples? What are your staple things that you eat at Memorial Day? Like, when I was a kid growing up in the Midwest, we always like burgers and hot dogs and brats. Brats were really big in Illinois and in Wisconsin. Always had brats. Brats with sauerkraut, mustard. You got to beer boil them. Brats are a big Memorial Day staple, as are hot dogs and hamburgers, and potato chips. Potato chips, not French fries, because potato chips are, they last better in a barbecue. So that was always kind of our thing. And we would do the fireworks and all that kind of stuff. Now that I moved to the South, I feel like it's a little slightly different. They do like more pork, like they're big pig people. They'll do like these big like Boston butts or pig roasts, and they have their own barbecue sauce, which is vinegar based and it's not like the sauces that you get out of a bottle in the store. It's vinegar based. And it's a really acquired taste, and you got to kind of learn to like it, but I love it. I can't imagine not having it now. And sweet tea and pimento cheese and hush puppies and coleslaw. But they're all about the barbecue. Like, they're all about putting stuff on a smoker or stuff on a grill. Big pigs, big hogs. So, and like a slab of shank, like shanks of stuff. It's good stuff. But and like good cocktails, good beer. I've never had any moonshine, and I don't mean to be like disrespectful to a Southerner, but I haven't had any moonshine since I've been here, and I don't even know where I would go about getting moonshine. I'd probably get it at the liquor store, but like I don't know anyone that makes it. Like you kind of think back to Dukes of Hazzard where they were making moonshine in a bathtub. I've never seen anybody like making any moonshine here, and I've never even had any. But I could be convinced to try. I wonder if it goes good with pimento cheese. So I know there'll be fireworks. Because there's fireworks in my town. There's fireworks in your town? And there probably will be a parade. Now there'll be band concerts like at the band shell, like at the amphitheater outside. But we're also in a very predominantly military area. We've got a lot of military bases like in a small concentration of space. We've got naval bases, Marine bases, Army bases, all here in North Carolina. And so it takes on a whole, Memorial Day takes on a whole different meaning when you move out here, because there's everyone here is either a military family or has someone in the in the military in their family, or a friend or something. They really do love and honor the military here, and it's really quite like beautiful and endearing, because they really did. They like bust their asses for us every day. Like, think about all the things that you do as a mom, and you're like, oh my gosh, I had to clean another diaper, I had to pick Cheerios out of my hair. Okay, they're in tanks and shooting at stuff and keeping us safe from missiles and, you know, attacks. So I think they win. I think they trump. Okay, so I'm gonna probably have one. As I said, I'm gonna just taste this pimento cheese while I make the guacamole. Notice I have not. I've neglected the guacamole, so I need to probably start making that. But what kind of stuff that you have at your barbecues? Are you a hot dog person? Or a hamburger person? Or a brats? Or do you do ribs? Or do you do like pork or buffs and butt? Or what do you, and then the side dishes, there's like the potato salad and the corn salads and the jello molds and the slaws, and then there's the desserts. If you haven't checked it out already, I did do a blog post on my blog, which I'll put the link on that in here. Like for some barbecue hacks. And there's some really cool barbecue hacks that I found in there. And I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to try that. Like special ways you can clean your grill real easy, or how you can rapid chill a bottle of wine, or how to keep bugs away naturally. You know, games for the kids. See how good that goes down? Do your kids do that? And I wonder why we do that. Like, why we did do that in the first place. My husband doesn't, and it annoys the daylights off me. Speaking of which, my husband has been pulling the sick card all week. Y'all, you know, mamas, you know what I'm talking about. The sick card. Now, I mean, like, I feel bad. I feel bad because I was like, okay, I want to be nurturing about this. But, like, Monday, he said he was feeling sick and sore. My nose, my throat, I just all sore and, you know, impacted here, and I feel sick to my stomach, and my whole body is sore. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll give you some time and some space to, you know, do what you need to do, because maybe you are legitimately sick. And he had a little low-grade fever. Well, then the low-grade fever started to get a little bit higher, to like 102 or whatever. That's where it kind of maxed out. That's where he peaked. But it was like literally to this day, it's Friday now, and he's been milking it all week. It's like, oh no, I can't pick her up. I'm sick. Oh no, I can't pick them up from school. I'm sick. I'm like, you're laid off? And today he gave me one of his medical bills, and he's like, for something. And he said, "You're my eye doctor bill or whatever." I said, "You can, you know, pay this for me with the credit card." I'm like, really? I'm carting 2 kids around while you're laying on the couch, and you can't pick up a phone and freaking put down a credit card yourself? Okay. And he was supposed to pick up I was supposed to be with my daughter at her end of year party today. At the same time, my son needed to be picked up. And we had that discussion about 6,000 times about how he had to go pick him up. I come home, I drive up in the driveway, and my husband looks at me and goes, "Where's Enzo? Where's your son?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, where's your son? You were supposed to pick him up 15 minutes ago." No, he did not pick up my son like he was supposed to. So I start getting calls from the teacher saying, "Where are you?" Because it was a half day. "Where are you?" And I had to speed over to go get my son. And then I get back to the house, and he looks at me, he goes, "I'm not talking to you." He's not talking to me. He was the one who was supposed to pick up the child. Really? I've been with this child at her end of school party all freaking morning, while you sat on the couch all morning. The one thing that you were tasked to do today was to pick up your son who's at school 5 minutes from the house. This calls for some champagne. Okay, so I am opening up a bottle of very fine champagne in honor of you all, moms. It is a Yellowtail, which you know is so high-end. It's like right up there with Two-Buck Chuck. It is a very high-end wine. They also now have a sparkling. And not only was it super well priced, my husband bought me this for Mother's Day not because he loves me, but because it was on clearance for $5. $5 clearance. Happy Mother's Day to me. That's okay. I had a great Mother's Day. I really enjoy being with my kids and not making it a big spectacle. So I'm gonna open up this bottle of champagne, and you know what kills me? Okay, so here we are, we're having this like wine tasting with, I think this is what really intrigued me. Like there's a lot of dips out there that we could have chosen, right? Like I even like put a challenge out there to the moms, and I said, throw a dip at me and I'll find something to pair with it, right? I'll do the research and find what we're supposed to pair with it. I didn't get any takers, but pimento cheese and Cabernet, that's a go, that's a yes. Guacamole, on the other hand, kind of hard to pair wine with Mexican or Latin American foods, right? Because they're not a, you know, wine drinking region. They're more beers and tequilas and such. So I was up for the challenge when I looked and I said, okay, guacamole. Everybody has guacamole at these barbecues, right? What do you pair with guacamole? So my research said that like the best thing to pair with guacamole is champagne or sparkling wine. And I was like, okay, I love champagne. Throw me some good champagne, or even some bad, or even some $5 clearance champagne. I wonder how it's gonna, so I'm really intrigued about how this is gonna pair with guacamole. Because really, I'm like cerveza guacamole, champagne and guacamole. Which do you choose? Okay, well, they say that the bubbles are, you know, they help with the acidity and the heat of the guacamole. And it has a nice finish. So, I mean, like, it's fizzy like a beer, right? All right, let's try this. With my fine $5 clearance Yellowtail sparkling wine, which is a screw top. I hope I don't spill it. I'm watching right now that I'm on live, that I won't be able to figure out how to open it. It looks like, okay, I'm gonna look like a fool when I can't get this thing open. So, as I'm trying to get this thing open and like look like a seasoned professional, what does it say? Oh, it says click to reseal. It says, please recycle and click to reseal. That's not helping me a whole lot when I'm trying to open the dang thing. Okay, I might not be able to taste guacamole with the champagne because Mom's having a little bit of difficulties trying to get it off. Okay, maybe it's supposed to pop off. This is what happens with the $5 clearance bottle of wine. Champagne. It's so good that we can't even get the top off of it. So what does that mean? What do we do? What do we do when we can't get the bottle off? Okay, maybe we're supposed to... I don't know what we're supposed to do in this situation. Not very professional of me, is it? It doesn't pop off like a bottle of champagne. Is it supposed to twist off? Like maybe it's supposed to... Oh, wait. Okay, maybe this is it? I don't know. Oh, okay. They threw me for a loop here because there's a little... This is not how we do fine champagne. It's like opening up a milk bottle, I think. Yeah, because it's got... Okay, here we go. Anticipation, right? We're building. It's kind of like an orgasm for those of you that have them anymore, because you know what it's like after you have babies. Okay, so apparently I think I'm supposed to like keep twisting this off. Okay, yeah, so yeah, husband sick, or playing sick or whatever. So like it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm starting to feel bad. You know, I was feeling bad at first. I was like, oh wow, he's really in a lot of pain. He got to the point where he was like, I think I'm gonna go into my medicine stash for my kidney stones and take some oxycodone because I'm in so much pain with my muscles hurt that bad. I'm like, if you have 102-degree fever, which of course, like men, why do they feel they need to take their temperature with the, you know, the little reader, like every 30 seconds? Like it's gonna change and like it's gonna make a difference all day long. Beep, 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 taking his temperature. He maxed out at like 102, like I said, and he broke his fever, but he continues to take his temperature like every 30 seconds and complain about how sore he is. But he got to the point where he's like, I need to take an oxycodone because my muscles hurt so much. And by like Wednesday night, I said to him, if you're in so much pain that you need to take an oxycodone and you haven't like really eaten anything in the last 3 days and you've been sleeping on the couch because you're so sore and you can't pick up your child, I'm like, maybe you need to go and see somebody, right? So he actually yesterday went to go like to urgent care. And at urgent, you know, to find out, because like then he started Googling and it could have, you know, the symptoms were like West Nile and what's that disease with the mosquitoes that I can't remember right now? Oh, you know what it is. Not West Nile, not Zika, but oh, it's where you get bit by like a flea or tick or whatever. Lyme disease, that's it. And then I'm like, okay, all right, well, I'm feeling bad now. So we went to urgent care, and urgent care actually like took all sorts of blood work and like, well, your white blood count is better. So you're recovering. We can see that. Well, obviously we knew that because your fever started to reduce. But we need to take you in for a CAT scan. So now here's me feeling super guilty because he had to go in for a CAT scan, right? And he did go in for a CAT scan, and they ruled out all of those scary scenarios, and they ruled out like kidney stones. I'm thinking he's got kidney stones. He's got like a recurring kidney stone issue. Do your guys in your life have kidney stones? They say that it's pretty common here in the South, and they have something to do with like they attribute a lot of it to the calcium in like sweet tea. I don't know, whatever. And they say that like cures for that, to kind of help keep you from getting reoccurring, kidney stones, is like fresh lemons. So like lots of lemon, like fresh lemonade and stuff like that, or just fresh lemons. And one of my friends turned me on to a pill called like Stone Blocker, which can help to block or break Stone Breaker, and it can help to break the stones up. So because my husband's had to go in for lithotripsy. I don't know if you guys know what lithotripsy is, but they like throw you on this bed, they knock you out, and they like sonic shockwave your whole body, like bzzz, to like shatter the stones because his don't pass. I mean, he's probably gonna be like, really, you just told the whole world about stuff going on in my lower regions with stones? But like I just kind of have this feeling like, because when he gets like this, it's a stone issue. Anyway, so maybe it's a blessing that we're not going to Busch Gardens this weekend, because if I have to rush him to a hospital, at least I know where he is. But I'm gonna be so pissed off if I end up having to spend the rest of this week like catering to him and his whiny woo-ness. I haven't literally, he might as well not even be at home. It's worse. So now I'm taking care of 2 little kids. I'm taking care of a whiny husband. Whiny husbands are the worst. I'd rather take care of 2 kids than a whiny husband. So let's see like what this weekend turns out to be. But I think I have now successfully peeled this big honking thing of plastic off this champagne bottle that I thought, oh, it'll be perfect for my wine tasting, because I'll just be able to turn it and pop it open, and I'll be all so professional looking and stuff. Music to my ears, and it didn't even spill a drop. Just took me 6 hours to figure out how to unpop it. Okay, so where's my champagne glass? Okay, here it is. Here's my champagne glass. Probably dirty, but that's okay. I'll drink it out of a boot if you ask me to, because it's champagne, and it's clearance champagne. Okay, so we're gonna pour some. Whoa, it's a little foamy. Okay, that's a lot. That's a big head. I don't even like saying that word. It just makes me feel all dirty. All right, so while that's defizzing, I'm gonna have to see if I can. Now we have a bunch of avocados here, and I wonder if there's some of them that I'm like, I bet you they're bad. I'm like a fan of buying avocados in the store when they're like firm, because then you know that they're gonna grow into something good, as opposed to something, oh no, this one's not bad. Yay, score. Hey, Aaron, welcome. Thanks for joining. We just made some guacamole, and we are going to taste test some guacamole with some champagne. So what now Memorial Day, Aaron, what are you doing for Memorial Day? Are you going to be spending it at the beach or at the river, or are you going to be spending it in town? Do you have a military in your family that you're going to be honoring? Those that are serving or have served or have passed on? Guacamole. I know. Do you have a recipe for guacamole? Like, 'cause I'm making like fresh guacamole right now, and I was just telling the folks here that like guacamole, like I am not about to like fresh cut all the cilantro and the tomatoes, chop the tomatoes and the onions and all that stuff. I literally just like scoop some avocados into a bowl, mash them up with some salt and pepper, a little bit of lime, and some salsa. Oh, you're going to the beach? You're helping family move. Okay, which beach are you going to? Because I'm in Atlantic. Are you coming this way? Because I'm going to have some guacamole for you. We're tasting guacamole and champagne. Doesn't that sound bizarro? I know. But like I think that's what intrigued me the most, because I was like, okay, what intrigued me was like, okay, so there's stuff that you can actually pair with guacamole that doesn't come out of a beer bottle. Okay, what should that be? And then I researched it, and I was like, champagne? Really? That just doesn't make sense to me. But like, I'm thinking, okay, I'm intrigued now, so let's try it out. Let's see what we got. So I think that when I'm done here tasting this guacamole with this champagne, I'm probably going to end up making nachos for the kids for dinner. I know, you're going to Nags. You're going to Nags Head. Well, that's not a bad place to be going. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like there, but you know, because I was just telling the folks that were listening here that we were supposed to go to Busch Gardens up there in Williamsburg, and the weather there is supposed to be crappy, so we changed our plans and we ended up here in Atlantic Beach. Oh my gosh, I have a 3 for 3 good avocado here. People, this is unheard of. Usually I like always have one dud. I don't. Do your kids like avocado? Like, you remember, like when you're like the first foods that you feed your kids, they're like, oh, give them avocado because it's the most, you know, sensitive for their stomachs or whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And my kids did not like avocado, except for my son likes everything. But you know, kids don't do spice, so like it's kind of a shame. Ooh, I know, champs and guac. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I will tell. It may be a complete fail, and it may be like a really like that was a really bogus thing to recommend to me. Was like I was doing the research, and the research said if you're going to pair wine with dips, you know, here are the dips, here are the chips, and here are the here's the wines you need to pair with. And I was like, champagne. That'll be interesting. So we'll see. I'm getting ready to smash up my last avocado and taste her up with some Tostitos. And let you know how it fares, and then, you know, maybe we should make it. Oh, but you know what too? I was talking about, like, I did a blog about like some barbecue hacks this week, so go check that out. I'll put the link to my blog in the comments to this later. But and one of the things that was on there today, okay, I'm gonna kind of like give you a backstory. Today I was at my daughter's like end of year party, right, at her preschool. And they were serving, you know, you have your little party, you're in your little bounce houses and stuff and playing, and then they take you in for your pizza and stuff. And hey, Kate. And they had Capri Sun pouches. One of the things that I found out for hacks for, like, you know, Memorial Day or barbecuing hacks was what they call like a Caprila, which is like a poor man's margarita. And get this, okay, you write this down because I thought this was pretty ingenious, especially for like a beach or a pool where you can't have glassware. It's a tropical punch flavored Capri Sun pouch, right? You know, like the ones that you serve your kids. And you snip off the top right above where the hole is, and you open it up, and you pour tequila in it, squeeze a lime in it, and then take the straw and use it to drink it out of the pouch. Obviously, like, the pouch is open, and so, you know, there is a spill factor there, but like that's like the poor man's glass-free tequila, and they call it a Caprila. Caprila? Yeah, Caprila. So I'm like, I need to go get, and then I'm like, okay, well, that's like a double hitter, right? Because you can have the non-alcoholic Capri Suns for the kids, and you can have the Caprilas for the parents. But then I'm like, okay, then there's this issue where your kid grabs the wrong one and ends up drinking a Caprila. But, you know, sometimes it's not such a bad thing, right? So yeah, I think this weekend I'm going to try that. I'm going to try. So I'm like sitting there watching these kids drinking these Capri Suns, and my mind's going, isn't that special? And I didn't want to say anything to the other moms because they were all like well dressed and beautiful and all put together and everything. And I'm thinking about like tequila in those Capri Sun pouches. Okay, so we've got ourselves our guacamole. Okay, so for those of you that are joining late, we just tasted pimento cheese. And those two that just joined, they're Southerners, so you know what pimento cheese is. We do pimento cheese and wheat thins crackers and a Cabernet. And it did pair pretty well. So when you're at your barbecue this weekend, Cabernet. I know, Cabernet. I know, I'm that mom. I'm the late mom, the sloppy mom, the when can I have a drink mom, and what can I turn into a cocktail mom? Pretty much. That's pretty much how it, and like, are you gonna eat that, mom? Like, okay, my kid's not eating that pizza, I'm gonna eat it. I don't wanna waste it. Yeah, okay, or that one. So we've got our champagne, and if you didn't notice, my husband treated me like the princess I am, to a bubbly barefoot yellowtail clearance bottle of champagne for Mother's Day. Who's feeling loved now? Okay, well, I'm drinking the champagne by myself and tasting the guacamole. So, and we're not eating with kids' tortilla. We've got the good restaurant style, Great Value restaurant style. Okay, so let's try this out. Big old restaurant style chip. It's not Tuesday. Doesn't matter. Taco Tuesday could be any day of the week. I want taco. This could be taco. This could be champagne taco something. I don't know. We're gonna come up with something good. This is like such an odd picture to me, but I've got high hopes. Not bad. I wonder if it depends on the sweetness level of the champagne or the sparkling wine. Because you got your brutes, you got your dries, you got your spumantis. I'm gonna make this a little spicier, a little more hot sauce, and probably a little bit more lime in my guacamole. Because I could see this, like it tastes. Let me taste the champagne alone. And now it says on the bottle. Oh, okay. It doesn't even say champagne on the bottle because I'm just that special. It says Yellowtail. Sparkling white wine with bubbles. I am worth sparkling white wine with bubbles, people. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling loved. So. Hey, Jessica. So, yeah. It's kind of, It's not really sweet like a Spumanti. It's not really brute and dry like a brute. So I think so. But I'm just kind of, I can't help myself but to try to compare the champagne to like a Corona or a Dos Equis, like a beer, right? Because like I'm looking at this big bowl of green guacamole, going, what am I doing? Hey, Jess, hey, Aaron. Eating it. Okay, so we're gonna try chip number 2. Do you guys have a favorite chip? Like, okay, I'm like, okay, it's the Walmart restaurant style chip thing. I made my own chips before. They just don't have the same zing. But I will tell you, have you ever had the Doritos like lime ones, like the lime chips? I have a bag of those in my cabinet right now, and I was like, I don't even want to eat that with guacamole because I will eat an entire bag of those Doritos with lime by itself. And I'll drink it down with anything you put in front of me. I love those chips, right? I know those lime Tostitos are the best. Okay, but we're not pairing those right now. I think those could go like good all by themselves. Okay. Scoop number 3. Do you double dip? Tell the truth. Okay, I double dip. I won't double dip at a party or at a public setting, but I will double dip in this bowl right now. Are you guys drinking with me or am I drinking alone? Okay, Aaron, you're my people. You're my kind of people. Okay. Maybe if I didn't drink the champagne out of a champagne glass, this whole scenario wouldn't feel so odd. It's good. It cuts the spice of the guacamole, like the heat. So like, I would suggest that like if you're drinking the champagne with guacamole that you dial up the heat, especially if you have a sweeter champagne. I keep calling it champagne. It's Wine with Bubbles by Yellowtail. Pretty good stuff. I think it's okay. I don't know, like I'm toying, like it's the champagne with the guacamole or the Cabernet with the pimento cheese. They're both kind of good. I love champagne now. Every girl looks so sassy, sexy with a champagne glass, right? There could be like water in here and I could feel like Queen Elizabeth. Because there's something about the glass, right? I don't know. Something about this glass. Maybe that's why it feels so weird that I'm eating with guacamole. Holy guacamole. I don't know. All right, well, I'm looking at the clock now and it's 5:46 and I'm alone. Which is, it's the bubbles. It is the bubbles. I think that's why it makes it like feel okay. Because like I think, okay, Cerveza would have some bubbles, right? Yeah, totally. Okay, good. I don't feel so bad now. I don't feel like when I put that out there and I was like literally typing out on Facebook and like Twitter and Instagram going guacamole and champagne. I was like, it almost kind of hurt to hit those keys because that's like people are gonna think I'm a moron and I know nothing about wine, but it's not so bad. Not so bad. But I know y'all, because you're Southerners, you have some pimento cheese in your fridge right now. And I'm sure you probably have a cab. Get to it, get drinking. Or guacamole is easy enough to mix. And, you know, I'm sure you've got something bubbling in your fridges, freezers, stuff. I don't know. But I hope that you have a wonderful holiday weekend, that you enjoy whatever weather you have coming your way. Hopefully it's good weather. Some great barbecue. And like I said, go to my blog to see those blog tips because there's some super awesome ones in there. And drive safe. Drink responsibly. I say that because, you know, I don't have to go anywhere. I'm sticking in a condo complex where all I have to do is, you know, stumble up and down some stairs. So I will definitely be drinking responsibly. And make sure that we honor the day for what it is. It is a great day to honor our military that are currently serving, have you know, finished their tours of duty and are no longer serving, that are veterans, and those that have passed on, because they do a great service for our country. And let's like not lose sight of that, because, you know, and here in North Carolina, given the military presence that we have, you know, we are very reverent of all of those things. But we need to remember that this isn't all about barbecue and booze. Okay, it's a little bit about barbecue and booze, but it is okay. Maybe it's a little bit more than just a little bit about barbecue and booze, but it is about honoring all of those, right? So yeah, check the blog. I'll put the I know the kids at Capri Sun, have yourself a Capri Love. Whoop whoop. I know it's not wine, but you know what? I don't discriminate. I am an equal opportunity alcoholic because I am a mom, right? So I will put my link to that blog post back into this post so that you can get all the like tips and tricks and fun stuff. But enjoy yourselves, be safe, hug a veteran, pray for a past serving soldier, say thank you to those that are serving, enjoy yourselves, hug your family, cut open a watermelon, throw something on a grill, and come and meet me next week. I don't know what we're going to be tasting next week. What do you want to taste next week? I was kind of thinking like wine and donuts. What do you think about that? Donuts? Wine and donuts? Or maybe wine and ice cream? I don't know. Let's think through. Ooh, maybe we can make like alcohol popsicles. Like we can make our own like homemade wine popsicles and taste those next week. Or Jello shots. I'm sure that we could whip up some Jello shots or something. Because, you know, nothing says Americana than a Jello shot. Okay, folks. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you much. Come and join us again soon. I'll put the information in the blog so that you can take a look at some of the hacks and some of the recipes and all that fun gobbledygook. But be well. Love you much. Hugs to the veterans. Hugs to and prayers to those that have passed on. Thank you to all that serve. Families of serving members of the military, kudos to you. God bless you for doing it. You're not doing it just for your own family, but all the families of America. Love you very much. Keep momming. We'll talk to you soon.